Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Gordon Maston, and welcome to my Extreme Rules review for 2016, alongside your my ghostly co-host. That would be Matt Jericho, who sits, if you have the box right here in the bottom box in your left corner. We're here for Extreme Rules, and you know what? Tonight, Roman versus AJ. I think we all know how this was going down. The You Still Suck tour rolls on, and I must say, there was a twist that comes with that. Positive twist, negative twist, we'll get into that in a second. When the Extreme Rules review kicks off right here on this channel. Alright, people, what's up? Matt, what is up? Wait, Matt, can you hear me? Okay, I don't know where Matt went, people. I'm not insane.
Okay, I'm here. Sorry about that.
I thought I was insane for a moment. I can swear you were here.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm back, and I think I picked a pretty good show to do it on. Now, that might piss a lot of people off, but I'll get to why. But, yeah. Corey, what did you think of the show?
It was a pretty good show, in all honesty. Through the middle of it, you're just sitting here like, middle of the road. You just don't know yet. And then we progress, and the Asylum match was a little slow. It picked itself up. It got good, and I mean, but that's a whole bunch of stuff to go over with the show. I'm gonna go from the pre-show on, Matt, if you're okay with that.
Yeah, just go. I missed the first match and the pre-show guys, so yeah, Gordon can take care of that.
Okay, so the first thing that happened on the pre-show, and I missed the first little chunk of Ziggler and Corbin, so I'm sorry about that. But the first thing that happened on the pre-show that was really worth noting, the Dudley Boys come out, basically play puppetry with the crowd, and say, hey, he's like they start chanting EC Dub at the Dudleys. And like, hey, you guys are chanting EC Dub? They're like, yeah, come on, chant it with us. Come on, ECW, ECW. And then they just start chanting with him. He's like, hey, Devon, you know what? What? We just play these idiots like a bunch of puppets. Now shut up like the puppet you are and listen to us. Dude, I can... they'll never do it in WWE, and if they do, they'll never make him a top heel. But Bubba Ray Dudley, dude, Matt, as a mic worker, is awesome.
Oh, he's good. He's always been good.
I know, like, it's just, like, the Dudleys were always a good tag team. Don't get me wrong when I say that, but it's just like Bubba has outgrown the tag team thing, which is like that's where I am with this right now.
Yeah, I mean, that's what most people say that Devon was the. Yeah, Bubba was the better one out of the tag team that you could put in a solo career pretty much, and he'd be fine with it.
I mean, I know it's not much to really say, but he did main event. TNA will accidentally find out good things about people. Like they actually, and you may not agree with me, Matt, but I mean, the majority has shown. Bubba. I mean, yeah, they do it Bubba, but here's what I'm gonna say: like, Derek Bateman, dude, was just a flop in WWE. Like, people said he had talent, but like it never showed. And then, I mean, EC3, boom, people like him, and he's been one of the top acts in TNA for 3 years, and he's been undefeated for almost like 3 years. But yeah, that was the point I was making here. But after this, Big Cass comes out, basically runs down the Dudleys. Basically says, like, you know what, like, because, he didn't tell Devon to get the tables. He's like, I didn't tell Devon to get the tables because you eat the table and everything you wanted. He said, you eat steak. You eat the steak on the table, the pizza, like, he just went down naming a bunch of foods, and then just had this one moment where it should have been awkward, but he wasn't like, I forgot foods. And then basically said, point being, you eat the whole table. Gets in the ring, fights both of them, makes Bubba accidentally clothesline Devon, and then lays them both out, and said, but you know what, I was just able to come in and do that because there's one word to describe you, SAWFT, soft. And I honestly thought Enzo was going to come out when Big Cass was getting beat up. You good over there, Matt?
Yeah, I just closed my window.
Yeah, I honestly thought. Okay, well, I honestly thought Enzo was gonna come out to save Big Cass. You know, he'd get beat up for a little bit. Enzo come out even the odds because Enzo is clear now because you know the freak accident concussion that happened a while ago. But yeah, there you go. But that happened, and from there we move on. Dolph Ziggler, Baron Corbin. This match was no disqualification. Basically, I'm gonna sum it up like this: Corbin. I'm just gonna run down Corbin's offense. He did get the deep six in, which looked beautiful. And like I'll say it now, Ziggler and Corbin have great chemistry. Like that's not a problem. Like this is the problem with the dynamic. Dolph Ziggler is in such a place where like no one even cares about him anymore. Where it comes down to it, like where no one cares about Ziggler, right?
Yeah.
And the thing about that is, I mean, with no one caring about Ziggler, no one's going to care about his matches. If no one cares about his matches, then no one's going to care about Baron Corbin, and they're just going to write Baron Corbin off, too. And it shouldn't feel that way, or it shouldn't be that way, but sadly, the way these crowds work, and that was a smarter crowd tonight, it's just going to continue to be that way. Like, for those, like, there are still people out there who think, oh, it's still Dolph Ziggler's time to do this, like, he should still be World Heavyweight Champion, that, like, give him a shot. Dude, that time is over.
Oh, yeah.
That time is far. Like Ziggler's past his prime at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, I've even thought about saying like earlier, maybe he needs a heel turn, maybe he needs something. I don't know what he needs, but Dolph Ziggler needs something to re-energize him. I don't see it happening. So, I mean, there's that. Corbin goes in a win with a low blow in the end of days, and that's basically that. Okay, that's it for the pre-show. The main show. Matt did miss the first match. And the first match was the Club versus the Usos, a.k.a. the Bloodline, a.k.a. whatever you want to call them. Because at one point, the Mock Young Bucks. You know, let's stop talking before we just run it down the Usos. But this match was maybe 10 minutes. It was mostly back and forth. The little corner thing they do, you know, the ass and face thing, the little homage to Umaga. Jimmy Uso, I believe, was outside the ring, did it to Gallows, but he completely missed it. He completely. I know you're supposed to miss it, and you're not really supposed to hit them in the corner like that, and if you do, don't make hard contact with it. But at the same time, dude, you got to at least make it like you actually hit it if the person's got to sell it for you. Like, that's one little problem I have with this. Other than that, Gallows and Anderson, they deserved to win this because ever since coming to the main roster, they haven't won a single match since their debut match against the Usos, which, like, you see a debut team and you see a debut match, Matt. Do you expect it to be like 50-50? You're supposed to think, like, oh my goodness, this team can have, like, are you supposed to think when a team like that debuts that the Usos have a chance of winning?
No.
The Usos made it look like they had a chance of winning on Gallows and Anderson's debut night.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they were practically owed this because they've had they've basically had 6-man tags and tag team matches for the last 3 weeks leading up to this match, and they were just completely annoying on SmackDown and everything. And each time the Bloodline, aka with Roman and all that crap, or what they also used to go by the Samoan Dynasty, they won that. They won all of it. Like, it's just the most annoying thing ever. But you know what? It is what it is, and I'm just glad that they got the win tonight. And you know, they've been using the Boot of Doom mostly, and it's weird with WWE because Matt, you have not been watching Raw lately. So they have this move called the Magic Killer, right?
Right.
Where one person, say, I'm gonna use this bottle for example, right?
Okay.
And then this hand, I lay this person, like, this is the head, right?
Okay.
I'm laying this person's legs in between this person's head. Like, in between these fingers. This is the other person's head. And then I come over and, like, give him a neck breaker like that.
Damn.
That would be the Magic Killer.
Oh, was that the one they hit on Roman? Did they hit it on him?
I think they hit that on Roman, and they hit the Boot of Doom on Roman. The Boot of Doom is like where you sit him up in like a Death Valley Driver, attitude adjustment, however position, and you just run by and drop kick him in the head.
Okay.
That's the Boot of Doom. They've hit that on Roman too. But yeah, they ended the match with the Magic Killer and got the 1, 2, 3. And that would be about it. Actually, I think they hit the Magic Killer because I remember like after the splash. Yeah, because he went for the splash, and he landed on the ring bell. And the Usos were beat up after that. And this is where you came in to watch after this. Because up next is Kalisto Rusev. Kalisto Rusev was up next.
Yep, I have the card right here.
So, this is the match where, I mean, they've done a good job of not, of giving us, no one knowing who's going to win this match, And they did a great job with the mid-card in general tonight with that, who's going to win this, I think the reason, I've said in the past, predictability isn't bad as long as you can make the matches good and as long as you can do it well. If you know great things are coming with predictability, then fine. That's a special case where predictability isn't that bad. But in this case tonight, most of the mid-card, including this match, was not predictable at all, which also made this pay-per-view worth watching and intriguing.
I guess I agree in a way, but for me, I like it to always be unpredictable. That makes it a lot better, because if you can just predict the match, then, it gets repetitive. If you can never predict the match, it keeps you tuned in. If you can predict shows like The Walking Dead, even if it's going to be good, eventually it will get old because you can just predict everything. For me, I like it just... I don't like to be like that. I like it always be unpredictable. And when you do predict it, kind of when you think something's going to happen, I like it when the opposite happens sometimes. And it makes you kind of... they do it in bad ways like that sometimes, but for me, I say unpredictable, but...
You're not wrong. I can see where you're coming from. But, I'll give you a prime example here. And I'll get back to, Kalisto Rusev here in a second. NXT. Some of the TakeOver matches. Shinsuke versus Sammy. We knew Shinsuke was winning his debut, right?
Yeah.
Still a great match.
Well, I'm not saying it makes it a bad match, but, if it's unpredictable, it makes the match 10 times better.
This is true. But I was basically making the point that predictability, it can be bad, but in rare cases, it can be it's just fine.
It doesn't. I get it.
I'm not even going to say rare cases. I'm not even going to say rare cases because some of the NXT takeovers have been predictable, very predictable in some cases. But yet, I heard nobody complaining about an NXT takeover special yet. I don't think they've had one bad takeover. The closest they've had to a bad takeover was bad live special was the first ever special that they debuted on. And if you even look back at that at the exact time of what was going on, that was pretty good for where it stood in the time frame.
Yeah. Or even Zayn and Neville. I knew Zayn was winning the match, but it was still a great match.
Exactly. I think we all knew Zayn was winning. We just want to know what happened from there. Where would they go with it from there?
But don't make the feud predictable after that. He's just gonna win every match. Make it, you can't always have predictable.
Yeah, I think that's where I think that's where you draw the line. A feud can be predictable, or else it will take you completely out of it. We'll get to that when we get to it, because that's gonna be the main event. We'll get to that.
Jeez. Yeah.
But this is where we stand here. Kalisto Rusev. This was short, sweet, to the point, and it worked, and it made both guys look really strong.
Yeah.
Now, it was back and forth for most of it. I could say back and forth. Rusev owned most of it when Kalisto went for his little corkscrew, torpedo, shoulder tackle out of midair. Rusev swatted him the first time. That was one of the things I haven't noticed. But, Kalisto eventually did come back and get his warm-up. And then, when he went to the top rope after the Salida del Sol failed for him, he got pushed off onto the apron and smacked his back. And I was thinking for a second, they were even playing it off Michael Cole, and I can't believe I'm saying this, actually did a good job of selling that Kalisto hasn't moved his legs. And Rusev stretched the man out like he did tonight, Monday. That's exactly how he did it Monday. And they said, he was suffering from back injuries and everything. So they made it feel like Kalisto had some spinal cord issues going on, some neck issues going on there. And then Rusev kept stomping on the back. Kalisto, the ref, kept pulling him away. It reminded me in a way of the Sami Zayn Kevin Owens situation from NXT Takeover Rival.
Yeah.
Where Owens kept he was relentless on his attack, but the referee kept telling him to stop. But at the same time, the match is still going here, and you can't just throw the match out. And Rusev wanted to definitely define that he was going to win the match. So, I mean, Rusev eventually does go on to get the accolade, bends Kalisto like a freaking pretzel, and wins the match. And eventually gets Kalisto to tap out.
Yeah, I enjoyed this match. I thought it was just fine for what it was. I mean, they did exactly what they had to do. I mean, a couple cool spots, and I mean, I would have preferred Kalisto to win. I kind of wanted Rusev because I like Rusev a bit more, but I still think they should have kept it on Kalisto. But he didn't look weak, pretty much. Like, he got beat down at the end, but he didn't. It's almost like he could have. Rusev
exactly, they protected him. Like Rusev knocked him on his back on the apron. Yeah. Which made it seem like if Kalisto didn't have lingering back injuries from Monday, what Rusev did to him when he stretched him out in the accolade on Raw like that, maybe Kalisto's able to move and maybe the match goes in a different direction. Or maybe Rusev does win. You never know if Kalisto comes into the match 100%.
Yeah, because he wasn't 100% pretty much.
Yeah.
So good job to them. They kept him safe pretty much. And let's hope they keep
And shouts out to them for continuity, dude. They kept a story going and a lingering injury going. Which I'm not even gonna say is rare, but they don't do that often, like as much as they should.
They need to do it more.
Yeah.
You need to do that, and so yeah, it's no complaints with their great way. It was a start for me, and I thought it was great. New Day and the Vaudevillains.
Yeah, so I was thinking about it. I'm like, yeah. Next up was the New Day and the Vaudevillains. The New Day comes out. You know, they come out first, and you know, I even hate to just pick at this, but in a situation where you're a champion, I can't stand it. And even like this with Kalisto and Rusev. Rusev came out first. I can't stand it when you're the champions and you come out first, but I guess I can understand it to a degree because the New Day, they have that New Age Outlaws effect where every time they come out, well, them and Enzo and Cass have the New Age Outlaws effect where every time they come out, they command a microphone in their hand because they're that over and they can really pop the crowd. So I guess it works.
But don't do it a lot. I mean, what's wrong with them coming out second? I mean,
the Vaudevillains stand outside the ring, but in most situations where the New Day do something, the New Day always come out first to get their mic work out of the way, and then the other team comes out. So I guess I can understand it to a degree.
But don't always do it. The champion should come out last, always.
Yeah.
Or maybe I guess it works for them, but only them almost.
Definitely, yeah. And probably Enzo and Cass when they become champions, maybe. Because they do the exact same thing, except more... Yeah, they do the exact same thing, really.
Yeah.
Okay, but, where do we... Oh, yeah, okay, this match. This also, in a situation, was... It almost, at one because we've all heard the conflicting reports that Vince does... Not even conflicting, but the reports that Vince doesn't like the Vaudevillains because they don't get a reaction, and he thinks their gimmick is stupid and all that stuff. Well, at one point in the match, this actually looked like the New Day was gonna lose. And another situation where it felt very unpredictable, which made it feel like very on the edge, and like you didn't know what was gonna happen. Like I'm just thinking the Vaudevillains were like, oh my god, where are they gonna run with this? If they run the Vaudevillains as being transitional champions for Enzo and Cass, I'm fine with this. If they just try and get some kind of length to run out of them, and Vince tries to prove a point, like, I told you they're not over, they don't get a reaction, like, that's just not even funny. Like, that's just not even cool. Like, I'm not even a Vaudevillains fan myself, but don't make the fans suffer.
I like the Vaudevillains, but I don't like them as, like, a legit tag team. Just a little fun one just to have, pretty much.
Dude, it's an NXT tag team. That's the best way to put it. Like, they're Full Sail-centric.
I mean, even how you were saying, though... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no. Continue your point.
How you were saying, like, you know, the unpredictability. What was the Vaudevillains' finisher?
The whirling dervish, where they uppercut you like that, and then they uppercut you in the neck, and then they come over and hit the swinging neck breaker.
And they hit that on Xavier Woods, and
see, that's another thing too. Like they let Xavier wrestle tonight. Which, like I know, like some of the times sometimes now since the New Day's turned face, they'll let Xavier wrestle sometimes, but like Xavier's not usually the one in there. And I'm thinking when they lost the tag team championships the first time at Money in the Bank last year to who was it again? The Primetime Players. No, Primetime Players. Remember?
Really?
After the Cena and Owens match, remember?
Oh, yeah, I
Because remember,
guess.
Kofi had competed
Jeez.
earlier in the night, and then they lost to the
Oh,
primetime
that's right.
players.
Yeah, yeah.
But like after they lost it, Xavier and Big E competed in that match, and this one, Big E and it was Big E
Xavier.
and Xavier again. So I was just thinking, is there a slight possibility that the New Day could lose the championship? And exactly, and when they hit Whirling Dervish on Xavier, I'm like, it's over. Like no one's ever kicked out of the Whirling Dervish. Like that's not a thing that happens.
And of all people,
So,
Xavier Woods was the guy to do it.
exactly, he kicks out of the Whirling Dervish, and I mean after that, New Day uses numbers, and they get they get the referee distracted. Kofi sneaks in, hits a kick after Xavier comes back in himself. Not after Big E comes back in outside the ring, because they basically isolated everybody, so they hit the Whirling Dervish on Xavier and put that slight thought of doubt in their mind, like, oh my goodness, the New Day's not winning this.
Yeah.
But Kofi came in, got the sneak shot, and New Day, Xavier Woods hit the Shining Wizard and picked up the pinfall, and Xavier Woods got the win for the team. So New Day continues their reign, and it was 273 days. Tomorrow on Raw to be 274. And will determine new number one contenders probably, which in all honesty should probably be Enzo and Cass, but I don't think WWE would do that yet, at least. Or they would give the championship to the Vaudeville so the New Day could. But I don't know, dude. They may do that. They may actually give us a New Day, Enzo and Cass. Like, I would die.
Well, I say wait a bit.
Entertainment style
Well,
of both those teams.
how long has Enzo and Cass been up on the main roster?
Since the night after Mania. 2 months now.
I
Not
mean-
even 2 months, but yeah, 2 months now.
Well, honestly, I think you should build that to something like SummerSlam because, I mean, who do you think's going to win that feud then? I mean, who would you, if you were booking it, who would you have win?
I mean, Enzo and Cass, because the New Day are established, they're above the tag team championships, and like, they would lose them. It wouldn't hurt them at all. Like when they lost them to the primetime players last year, I honestly was more worried then because they had just got they were over for about 3 months, and you can be over for 3 months and then just be like that in a second. But they've been over for well over a year now, and I wouldn't be worried about them losing a chance, especially to Enzo and Cass. That's not a concern.
Well, what about the club, or if you want to say Bullet Club, I guess we could say it now that we're on here. I mean, don't you think they're going to want to get those titles soon? Or maybe not soon, but...
It doesn't look like at the moment. It doesn't look like at the moment
now.
WWE's invested. I know that's why I've been ruling them out. Like WWE doesn't look like they're invested in giving them titles at the moment. But I can see them at any point just we want championships.
Or maybe they can be the ones that beat Enzo and Cass.
They can either be Enzo and Cass or beat the New Day. At no point, unless you want to keep Enzo and Cass and the Vaudevillains away from touching each other. Not Vaudevillains, Enzo and Cass and the New Day away from touching. Fine, give the titles to the Vaudevillains so you can be transitional for about a month or two. But otherwise, just
it wouldn't last.
Or here's what you can do. Here's what you can do. You can have like a triple threat tag match for the number one contendership. Enzo and Cass, the Dudleys, and the Vaudevillains. Have the Dudleys win. Go back to face the New Day at Money in the Bank. Have them lose, and then have the Vaudevillains beat Enzo and Cass at Battleground. Not a Battleground. At on a random Raw. Oh. I was gonna say on a random Raw, so you can get the Vaudevillains and New Day one more time, and then you have that match. Then you have you can have Enzo and Cass versus the Dudleys, and have Enzo and Cass win that match, and then they can face the New Day at SummerSlam and win.
Yeah.
Like there are many ways you can hold this off for a little while.
Yeah, that's probably the best way to do it.
But
this match was pretty good, I thought.
I enjoyed it for what it was.
Yeah. I'm glad
Xavier the Vaudevillains. I'm glad Xavier got the pinfall, dude.
Yeah, same. Because I was saying before, I'm like, I want to see Xavier go in, and he did. So.
I mean, it's a rare case when it happens, but for what for how they did it, I loved it. So the New Day got the win, and I mean, nothing much more to really say there.
Yep.
What was it up next? Intercontinental Championship?
Yeah, Fatal 4-Way.
This was beautiful. Last month, I love how WWE's give you these matches where you know they're going to be guaranteed showcases. Like, they're going to be guaranteed just outright awesome matches. Like, last month it was Zayn and Owens, which was match of the night, and then you had Kevin Owens on commentary for the Cesaro and Miz match, and then you have Sami Zayn who just comes back out, dives over the announce table and starts fighting Owens, and Owens seen it coming and fought back. And like I love that. And Owens, like, he's not like most heels, like they'll run from the guy that's the protagonist in the story. Owens fights back against Sami Zayn all the time. Like, he never runs from it. Like, whenever they see each other, it's like I don't know if I've said it on here, but it's like Peter and the chicken, straight fist. Like,
Yeah.
Family Guy reference. Whenever Peter sees the chicken, they don't even remember while they're fighting. Like, wait, why are we doing this?
Yeah.
It just breaks out into a brawl. Now, tonight, in that situation, I'm going to go over the pops real quick first. Cesaro got a decent pop. Miz just got booed. Like, people don't like the Miz, but like, he's actually a heel who can garner heat. Because, like, here's the situation with these guys. Like, Owens is one of those guys who can gain momentum but can never really get heat because of the kind of heel he is and the kind of personality he has. Miz is the guy who can really get heat, but never really wins until the title match. So momentum will never actually be on his side.
Yeah.
So, I mean, when it comes down to those two, I mean, Owens got a pop, which is like, yeah, and he's also an indie guy too, and they were in Newark tonight, which is, also a smart, a place for smarts. So, of course, Owens was going to get a pop knowing, a smart atmosphere knowing Owens was from Ring of Honor and PWG, so you had to expect that. Same for Zayn, even though he's supposed to get that reaction. Like I said, Cesaro got a really decent reaction. Like, there was, like, did it compare to Owens and Zayn? No. Like,
Zayn
he got a pop.
One.
Yeah, I'd say Zayn got the biggest one, then Owens, then Cesaro.
Yeah.
But, I mean, for what it was, when he got into the ring, though, everything just picked up, like, full speed. Like,
yeah. Right off
it was awesome. Like, from the word go, haluva kick. Like, Owens sat there in the corner, just haluva kick.
Yeah.
Zayn just nailed him. But as we move on through the match, Matt, you want to tell me some of your favorite moments through this match?
Shoot. I'm trying to think of early ones that happened, because all the ending ones, how long? This match was 18 minutes, but dang, that's decent. Let's see. I'm trying to think what happened. All right, that, and then,
I say for a fatal. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, you're fine. Go.
I was going to say, for a fatal four-way, this was perfectly timed.
Yeah,
18 minutes for a mid-card fatal four-way.
I don't want to miss anything. That's what I'm thinking, like, of all that happened in the middle. You go first.
I'd say, dude,
bunch.
What do you call it? I think it was when I think Zayn went for a haluva kick at one point, and then Owens came out of nowhere and just caught him with a super kick at one of the points of the match.
Yeah, that was right toward the end.
That was something sweet to me.
Yeah, that was good.
Cesaro kicking out of the skull-crushing finale because he was the main protagonist in this, and he was the guy who went after Miz originally. But at the same time, like, I like that they made him kick out of Miz's finisher directly. But at the same time, in the ending, because I'll just say Miz did go on to win this match. I'll get to that when it comes to that. But Cesaro did end up eating the pin at the end. But it also does take away Cesaro's claim to a rematch, again, because he was the one pinned by The Miz.
Yeah.
What do you call it?
What about that? When you say this is... Oh, no, you're fine.
I was going to say when they went through the whole finisher sequence, and, except Owens got hit with a Kimura suplex, I think Cesaro got hit with a pop-up powerbomb, and that's when Miz hit the skull-crushing finale on Cesaro. That's when it led to that one spot where I mentioned him kicking out.
Yeah. I liked when Cesaro was going for the Cesaro swing for the second time. Miz grabbed the ropes and then Owens did the frog splash on him. I wish he would have done the swanton, but a frog splash, it doesn't hurt at all.
You know what that would remind me of?
What?
That's a Young Bucks thing, dude.
Oh, they do that?
Yeah, hold him on the ropes like that and then just swanton on him.
Shoot.
And I thought he was gonna do that because Kevin is he's called himself the third Young Buck at times.
Yeah, it works for him. Perfect.
Yeah, and just everything about it was awesome.
Yeah.
What do you call it? What was it? No, that was the end of the match. I was thinking because I eventually, but.
Is it the Zayn when he almost won, or the?
No, it was another it was one of those fast succession things again where it's like when Zayn got uppercutted by Cesaro, like when he got thrown in the air,
Oh
just
yeah.
completely jacked. Like
Jeez.
everybody hit like signatures at one point. It was like Chimera suplex by Zayn, Kimura suplex by Zayn on Owens, and then Zayn ran into an uppercut, and then Miz got swung.
Yeah. Or
that was the first time.
When Zayn almost won, Owens pulled him out, but Owens kind of like backed off, and Zayn looked in the ring to pin him, but then he went and fought Owens instead. So that one was pretty cool.
Yeah, and that was toward the end.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Because if we just want to get to the ending of this match, now it went. Zayn hit the haluva kick on Cesaro, which is the perfect underdog spot. Like the underdog is gonna win 1-2, gets pulled out of the ring, and then we all know how much Kevin and Sammy just can't stand each other. Sammy was the aggressor, which is just weird. He just started throwing Owens around at the barricades, just punching him, and then Miz crawls over 1-2, and then Sammy's blinded by the rage that he has inside, and he just takes out Owens.
Yeah.
And he couldn't get back to the pinning time, and Miz snuck away the title, which was perfect for the chicken shit heel that Miz is.
I just wish it wasn't the Miz, honestly. A lot of people say, "Oh, you hate the Miz; he's doing his job." So I mean, there's a difference because I used to hate Edge back in the day, but I didn't want to stop watching the Miz. I wish it would have been another heel in his situation, but that's just
okay, Matt. But let me throw this up to you. You have guys like Sammy who could still go on and chase Miz, or Cesaro.
I don't want to see it the Miz though. I mean, who else? What if you had somebody else in that situation? I mean, maybe if you turned Dolph Ziggler heel, even that would have been something like that. Would have been.
You turn Ziggler heel and have him do this. Maybe it's more intriguing.
Definitely,
because Ziggler, he's better in the ring.
The Miz isn't really credible, even though he has all those titles. It's like, oh, it's the Miz. He's
a 5-time Intercontinental Champion, like a 5-time Tag Champion, a former WWE Champion.
And nobody cares really. I mean,
not
it's
really,
a lot of.
No.
I mean, if you put Zayn in a match, more people are going to be like, oh, Zayn has more credibility than the Miz, even though the Miz has all that, experience pretty much.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I wish there was something maybe better than that, but other than that, that was good. And then the one spot when Maurice was kind of Cesaro did beat Miz, though, in the match, kind of, because he had him in the...
Oh, when Maurice got involved in the sharpshooter thing and Miz tapped.
Yeah, so Cesaro kind of could use that, maybe like, oh, you tapped, so you could continue that. So there's a lot
I beat you first before you beat me, yeah.
Yeah. So,
but it's basically like an ongoing continuation of what actually happened at Payback when the same exact situation happened.
Yeah, so the doors are open pretty much for all these guys here in the match.
Well, personally, Money in the Bank is next month.
Yeah.
And I honestly thought next month should have been Battleground, because I'd like to have SummerSlam and Money in the Bank right next to each other, but they're going to go Money in the Bank Battleground SummerSlam.
Yeah.
And it sucks because you could, if you want to do a throwaway pay-per-view, Battleground is the perfect pay-per-view following this to make a throwaway. And they're going to make that after Money in the Bank, which is just it gets kind of slow, and it's like, oh, come on, we just want SummerSlam. But, I mean, I'm honestly, if you want to throw, what was the hot feud last? Was it really a hot feud last year in last year's Money in the Bank? Because you had Kofi, Roman, Sheamus,
no, not even close. I think the hottest one you've had in a while was Rollins and Ambrose going up. Other than that, though.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I was running through last year. I don't think there was a hot feud in Money in the Bank. And every year you usually get one, or every other year you usually get one. And this year you have the perfect chance and opportunity
and Zayn.
With Zayn and Owens. And you could throw them in there to really up the intrigue, and you can make Owens win Money in the Bank. You can have him, I don't know, you can have him and Sammy go at it at Battleground again and have a disqualification finish, or because SummerSlam's a long build, right? It's doing a 5-week build, right?
Yeah.
Have Owens have it just end double count out and have Owens powerbomb Zayn on the apron. Keep Zayn out for 2 weeks after that, or maybe 3. Bring him back and have him challenge Owens at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
And then you can have Sammy win that, and it doesn't really hurt Owens because he's still Mr. Money in the Bank.
Yeah. See, perfect.
And Sammy can just move on to something else, and you you know,
Have him win
you
the
came
IC
off of like,
title.
perfect. And you could do that. You could have like, and then after that, yeah, exactly. You could have Sammy go to Night of Champions, and if Miz is still champion, have him beat Miz at Night of Champions.
Yeah. Then he can lose it around, TLC-ish, and then he has a big spot at the Rumble, pretty much. And then you can go off right
Exactly, and then
there.
you can play. Sami Zayn can be built for the Rumble.
Maybe this isn't the time to do it. I don't know if it's too soon, but you can even have Owens win the title, have Money in the Bank. Maybe Zayn win the, you could have him win the Rumble
The Royal
in a way,
Rumble,
and then
and
in a
then
way I think
you have to elevate it for a WrestleMania match, and no one complains about the main event.
yeah. In a way, it's a bit
There's so
too
much
soon, maybe,
like,
but it's still good. It still worked pretty much.
dude, if you build Owens correctly and you continue to build Zayn the proper way, it's not going to be too soon. The fans will be completely invested. Like, fans are already they're already vocally active in Kevin Owens matches. Just put him in a bigger atmosphere. I think Kevin Owens can handle himself.
Yeah. And then you can have either guy win at Mania then, pretty much.
Exactly. And you basically built a WrestleMania main event around two guys who they were in with Owens for a time here, but I think Kevin Owens. I don't think we really have to worry about him anymore. Like, oh, he's gonna just he's just gonna flounder.
No, not really.
Because there was a time we were all of us were scared for Kevin Owens at one point.
And that was right after. That was like a couple months after he
After
came
the
in,
Cena stuff.
But he's been irrelevant since, so he did fine.
Yeah, and let's remember the stat that they brought up, and I also read online earlier today, too. Kevin Owens is the first man since The Undertaker in his first year to have competed in every pay-per-view since his debut in a year. Which is completely awesome to me, to be, noted for.
Yep.
All right, but I think anything else you want to say about this?
No, match of the night, I think.
This was match of the night, yeah, and I think...
I don't know, it's one or two. It's one or two for me.
What are you going to say, the main event or the Asylum?
The main event, just, it sucked for, the part, but we'll get to that, but so much was happening at one sequence, it was insane almost. It's like, oh my god, this is actually happening right now. So, it kind of throws in there, so, but we'll get to that.
All right. Well, okay. Next up was the Asylum, right?
Yep.
And you know what? I kind of gotta put this right up here, Dean Ambrose shirt. For anyone in spot. But up next we get the Asylum match, which is Jericho versus Ambrose. And I'm going to be completely honest with you. This match went from the possibility of the Asylum match. Oh, this could be really cool, and then it just started out like, eh.
Like this could be yeah, I was mentioning it too, Gordon. I said during there's certain times that, because if you think of the concept, it's a great concept what they have, but we're so used to having Ambrose have so many good matches that once in a while, like maybe once or maybe twice a year, he'll have that match, and you're like, that didn't live up to the hype. Perfect example. The ladder match, me and Gordon were saying, oh, him and Rollins are going to have the best ladder match.
Oh, my God, dude.
We were
last year.
We were hyped to the best ladder match in, the longest time in years. And,
they went the slow, methodical route and really made grounded Rollins.
You said the technical route more than the,
I don't know. I said it. I don't know what match agent thought, hey, let's build a technical ladder match where you destroy Dean's legs so he can't really climb. And the finish has nothing to do with that. And the finish is a tug of war in midair. Like an NFL game where, we'll throw the ball up and whatever receiver comes down with it is the winner. It just made no sense, and it ruined the match for me. And it ruined the match for everybody else, too. Anybody else I've talked to, that ladder match was garbage.
Yeah. But this match, started off slow, but once it picked up, they did everything they had to do pretty much.
I'll agree there. It was slow. It's like how a commentator calls a wrestling match. It's supposed to start out slow, and then it builds and builds and builds to just when it picked up, it really picked up. When they started involving the weapons, I'm and Matt didn't see this because I wish you would have, because he said at one point I'm telling Matt they used the nunchucks in this match. Dean used the nunchucks and started whipping Jericho with the nunchucks. You could hear it go off his back. The commentator's ooh. Like,
Ah.
they actually use the nunchucks, dude.
See, that's something different. Yeah, they had a few different things in here, things that came back and just added to it. But yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and watch that. I want to see that.
And the potted plant thing was just imagery, Matt. Like,
Yeah.
because you haven't seen the story to it. I mean, you haven't seen the story to it. Like, okay, so the story, you're going to think it's pretty stupid. Okay, you ready for this?
Okay.
So the week after the night after WrestleMania, which is basically like the week after WrestleMania, they were in Los Angeles and Jericho was doing the highlight reel, and then Ambrose came out, interrupted, laid him out with dirty deeds, right?
Right. Yeah, I remember that.
And then Shane said, "This is not. You're not going to get your own talk show. It's the Ambrose Asylum and everything." And the potted plant thing, because Dean had his own talk show, had his own like drawn-on sign for the Ambrose Asylum, and the plant's name was Mitch. Like Dean named the plant. Dean named the plant Mitch. And I'll say it already now so I can get the joke out of the way. The plant was more over than Roman. It got chance, okay? Like everybody make it like when Jericho eventually like broke the plant and destroyed it, they were making like rest in peace Mitch signs, Mitch for Hall of Fame 2017 sign. Like
It was just a fun thing to do. It was just a fun thing then. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. And eventually when Jericho busted the plant over Ambrose's head, they had their match at Payback, which was a little bit of a dud, but I mean, like you said, he'll have those couple matches a year. And like I said to myself, Ambrose and Jericho just don't mesh that well. And I'm glad they had weapons so they could really like intensify it a little bit more.
Yeah, because when they weren't using their weapons, not much was going on.
Yeah, like Ambrose had his dive off the cage. I appreciated they did that for him. They used the candlesticks.
Typical stuff at first, like that. I'm kind of tired of the
candlesticks. And then when Dean brought the bucket down, I'm like, so what's he going to do? Put the bucket over his head, grab the barbed wire 2x4 and start swinging away?
Yeah, something like that.
I mean, it's like, just to protect Jericho's head and so he could put some headshots in there and like the fans could think, oh, this is really gruesome. Oh, no, and they did use the strap, too. Like, Jericho's actually whipping Dean with the strap. You actually heard it off him a couple times. Well, you can tell he was holding back on some of those shots a little bit. But eventually, in this match, Ambrose did grab the bucket, and then he eventually pulled out a black bag. And maybe if I hadn't seen Foley do this so much, or I hadn't seen Abyss and TNA do this so much, I'm like, what's in the bag? What's in the bag? And then we all know it's eventually the thumbtacks. They throw them out, and then Matt's like, they're just teasing you. They're not going to do it. And I wanted them to use it so bad, or else I just would have been so mad.
Yeah, because they teased it at Hell in a Cell when Rollins and Ambrose fought, because they were going balls to the wall with that one, and then he pulled it out. They just didn't do anything with it. So it's kind of – they'll hint at that. And we'll get to that, actually. Just go through that first.
Oh, the 2x4?
Yeah, I wasn't going to say it yet, but they always hint at it, but they never usually use it. But
they try using the fire – well, they used the fire extinguisher, too.
Yeah.
And Ambrose eventually just got sprayed in the face and Codebreaker. And I thought it was over from there. I was about to be done. Like, come on, dude. You give this man his own match and you give it to him and he loses it. Come on, dude.
To Jericho, too. That's the guy who usually wins those matches. When the match he's supposed to lose, he wins.
Exactly. And the match he's supposed to win, he loses, like last month. But no, they gave Ambrose 2 straight over Jericho. And, I mean, there you go. So, yep. I mean, there's that. But eventually, Jericho gets the 2x4 that was hanging on top, and and Matt's like, he's not going to use it. He's not going to use it.
Yeah.
And I thought Ambrose would have kicked him or something. No, he used it.
Yep. Get him in the stomach, got him in the back, got him in the stomach again.
And then eventually Dean eventually found a way to get out of that. And then Jericho went for the Codebreaker. Dean held him up in midair like, no, I'm not going down with you. And then dropped him back first into the tacks.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Like, dude, if you're a match agent and you're also the guys that are planning this out, how do you have the balls to just say, all right, I'm just going to plunge myself way into some thumbtacks? Like,
yeah, that doesn't look fun.
Jericho screamed the entire time, even after the match was over. Like, when the refs tried to come over and try and pick him out, Jericho was kicking out referees, and, like, he is not having it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, eventually Ambrose, after that, he hit Dirty Deeds on Jericho, and Dean was just in a mode or in a mood he didn't care because it was kind of a little dangerous because Jericho went down face first on attacks after that, and he had a few stuck in his head.
Yeah.
But dude, if you look at and another thing, if you were to look at his elbow, he had about 30 right here.
Oh yeah.
And that was like I just looked at him like I feel bad for Chris right now.
Yeah.
But you know what, Jericho Ambrose is going to win that. I do appreciate the fact that he's selling his stomach from the barbed wire 2x4 shot that he took right there. Well, the couple shots that he took right there, but that was that, and that was basically it.
Yeah.
Now, up next was, well, before I even say up next, Matt, any other thoughts on this match? Your final thoughts on this match? Good, bad, or anything?
It was good. Started off slow, I'll admit, but the ending made up for it, and it was an awesome match. So I liked it. Probably third best match.
All right, I'll take that. I'll sign on those thoughts. Next match though is Charlotte versus Natalya in a submission match. Now, let me just preface this by saying, for one, I am a fan of good women's wrestling. I was a fan at one point of Charlotte. I was an advocate of Natalya whenever she wanted to come and have a good match and not talk. But these two, since the inaugural NXT takeover in May of 2014, when they had their match, and then they had a couple more matches after that, I was done with it. Like I was just done with it. And it's like they had a match at the Roadblock special that we had. After that, I think I was about done with it. And we went through tonight, went through a submission match. Ric Flair, you know, the stipulation, Shane and Stephanie banned him from ringside. And we had a moment where Ric Flair's music hits, the whole woo thing happens. The crowd thinks he's coming out. They have somebody in a robe. The hood's up. I think it's like, because Charles Robinson's not refereeing the match. Because, you know, they pulled the whole screw job thing last time. And, you know, embraced his Little Nate stuff from WCW. And I thought it was Little Nate. No! It was NXT's resident Barbie doll, Dana Brooke. Yeah, because we all know Dana Brooke's debuted recently, and they gave her a couple of wins over Becky Lynch. They even gave her a win over Paige, which just irritates me because the only reason she was here was to be Emma's lackey. And like, dude, she hasn't even wrestled in NXT in months, and that's because Asuka injured her. So she goes from a match with Asuka to just get called up to the main roster immediately?
With the women's champion, pretty much.
Exactly, and she was working with Emma at first, and now like, they realize, okay, Dana, you do suck in the ring. You're best as somebody's lackey, so we're going to throw you with Charlotte.
Yeah.
Like, what? So now, most likely, and even though Natalya did eventually go to tap out to the figure eight, it's not, like, see, this is where this doesn't work for me, Matt. It was not a pinfall match. It was a submission match. At the end of the day, Natalya's still conscious of when she taps out.
Yeah.
That doesn't work for me. Because they're going to find a way, like, you know, even though she didn't come out. It's no disqualification, dude.
Yeah.
You lost. It's how it is.
Yeah, that should be the end of it.
But they're going to find a way at Money in the Bank to give us another match. It was just like, dude, I'm sick. This is becoming, Charlotte and Natalya is becoming the Orton Cena of the women's division.
Ugh.
Exactly. Like they're doing this too much. I'm sick of it, dude. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, Charlotte does want to land with the figure eight, makes her tap out, and Dana Brooke's running with her, and she just does some of the most cringeworthy woos and ruins Ric Flair's strut and everything. It's just all I can do is throw my hands up at this point. I just can't say anything, do anything, whatever.
Yeah.
Any thoughts, Matt?
Worst match on the card for me. Just the worst match.
Worst match because you just run into it or because we've seen it too many times?
Both. I mean, if it's a good women's match, have it. I'll watch it if it's good. Usually the only good ones. Charlotte's been in some. Mainly the ones at NXT, she's had her good ones. Well, the 3-way was pretty good. But other than that, I'm not too into either of them that much. And just all of that. Just all into one pretty much.
Dude, I just can't stand either.
You're coming off two great matches pretty much. And then you had that, and it was kind of took you out of it a little bit.
Dude, I thought Payback was the end of it. I thought it was just gonna be a one-off.
Should have been. I mean, that's
Like,
not one
they've
of
been
those
going at it
feuds you
since
just,
after WrestleMania, dude.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah. And they threw Becky to a feud with Emma, like the revamped Emma, which is why I'm glad about that. And then Emma had to have back surgery recently, so it's like fuck. And then Becky had to lose clean to Dana Brooke last week, and had to lose to her on SmackDown the week before that too. Like it's just like, oh my god, it's just. Neither to hurry up and continue to. Go ahead.
I mean, I wasn't even. Why are they wrestling? I mean, you still have Sasha and Becky on the roster. It's like I didn't get why one of them wasn't involved at all.
I know, and Sasha wasn't even pinned at WrestleMania or submitted. Becky's the one who tapped out, as much as it hurts me to say that. And Sasha had her leg held by Ric Flair the entire time.
Yeah.
Like, if they would have done a steel cage match tonight, which would have been easy because you had the cage there, you just had to take the weapons away. The easiest thing to do is just... I'm not going to say this is where you have it, because I know they're obviously saving Sasha, Charlotte for SummerSlam.
Yeah.
But if you keep Ric Flair out or Dana Brooke out, put Sasha and Charlotte in the cage. Like, we already seen how good Sasha and Charlotte can do together. Like, multiple NXT episodes. Like, they put on phenomenal matches. Like, NXT TakeOver, Our Evolution. The night Sasha got beat by Charlotte. Like, I can go back to constant episodes of NXT throughout 2014 and 2015. The summer of 2015, the last time when I told you, Matt, about that line where the best line I said Byron Sachs ever produced that came out of his mouth. The NXT Women's Division is a great hands after Sasha won, and then her and Charlotte had a hug after that.
Yeah.
Like, they've constantly had great matches. So just throw a cage in between them, dude. Do something new where Ric Flair doesn't get involved and there's a clean finish, like a decisive winner, which would be Sasha Banks.
Yeah.
I just feel like I ranted. And that probably didn't mean anything happen. But whatever, dude. It is what it is.
Yeah.
I honestly didn't think I'd have that much to say. But main event time, right?
Oh, yeah.
You want to get into it? Do you want to start us out?
I don't remember the start of it, to be honest, because so much happened at the end that you can get into.
I mean, it obviously started with the back and forth that AJ and Roman had. I mean,
yeah, they went into the crowd at first. I think where the match really started. I mean, they fought a little bit, just a bit. They got into the crowd. You seen the fans yelling at Roman. You just feel little things. I think the match really started when they went to not the announce tables, but what is it?
The pre-show table, the pre-show panel table.
That's where the match started.
Table, then formed Roman off of that.
Yeah, that's where it started.
And then Roman started dominating AJ and powerbombing him and putting him through tables. And then the crowd, and this is where I'm going to use this because I have a tweet that I got, well, not even a tweet, a notification I got from Twitter in the middle of the show from someone, because I have a series on YouTube for any of you who watch my gaming stuff, and it's called the Roman Reigns You Still Suck Tour. And I, like, no matter even if I beat him in the previous episode, I'll still put the title on him and make him defend it against somebody. I think I've won one of the matches, I've lost one of the matches, I had my friend DeVillis over, and we did a triple threat. He won one of the triple threat matches and pinned Roman. But, like, because I named it the You Still Suck Tour because, you know, every time that Roman tries to do something that he thinks is cool or he thinks he'll get over, the crowd just shits on him and just, you still suck, you still suck, you still suck. And at the moment where the You Still Suck chants were happening, I got a notification, so-and-so liked your You Still Suck Roman Reigns video.
During that.
Like, as it happened, like, as the You Still Suck stuff happened, I'm like, there we go. Capitalization. I capitalize on something that, like, the fans will do, and it catches on.
Yeah.
Just like Big Match John Maggle. Who'll be back next week on Memorial Day, but, you know, they advertise it for that. Also like to advertise Rollins returning for June 3rd. But, you know, we'll see if he returns then or not.
Oh, yeah.
But, you know what? This picked up when, like, after Roman started doing all that crap. Tried to spear AJ through the barricade, through one piece of the barricade, actually. Missed. They got in the ring, started duking that a little bit. And then, the match goes a little back and forth. And then the club runs down. They hit the boot of doom on Roman. 1, 2, kick out by Roman Reigns. And this is where OP Roman Reigns starts.
Oh, it kicked in.
Yeah, hard. Usos come out, lay out the club, Bullet Club, Gallows and Anderson, and then they eventually hit their stuff on AJ.
Yeah.
The double super kicks, the splash, everything. I was just like, no. What is this? It wouldn't even be considered a heel turn. It wouldn't even be considered a double turn because the WWE will play it off as the club initially started it off first, so the Usos and Roman were just finishing it.
Pretty much.
But AJ kicked out of their stuff. Then AJ eventually hit a Styles Clash, and then hit another Styles Clash on a chair. 1, 2. The Usos got before AJ can get the pin. The Usos got involved. AJ kicked the Usos off of them. 1, 2. Roman kicks out of a Styles Clash on a chair, and then AJ grabs the chair that he was been thinking about. Oh, should I really hit him with or not? And just starts beating the crap out of the Usos and Roman. Like AJ was a one-man wrecking crew with 3 chairs.
Yeah.
I mean, 1 chair. A one-man wrecking crew with 1 chair beating like 3 guys. It was incredible, dude.
It was.
And then AJ, I think he hit 1. No, he didn't hit the Roman Styles Clash. He takes out the elbow pad, goes to the apron, and goes to try and hit the phenomenal forearm. And this is why I called it right here, and I said to Matt.
No. He nailed him on the chair. Right after he hit him with the chair, he hit on the chair and he kicked it.
He hit the Styles Clash on the chair, kick out, and this is where I say to Matt right here, when AJ goes to take the elbow pad off and goes to the apron. Roman Reigns won this fucking match, dude.
Because he hit 2 of those, and then it had
He
to
hit 2 Styles Clashes, 1 on the chair and 1 not on the chair. Just like Roman put AJ through 2 tables.
Yeah.
And then AJ goes for the forearm, and I called it before it happened. Spear, 1, 2, 3. That's it.
Yeah.
I'm like no Balor and no anything because you all know the running Finn Balor rumor, and it's not happening. And it's true. They want to call Balor up after NXT Takeover, and I believe it's actually official, Matt. I think they're calling it NXT Takeover Revenge.
All right. Never mind. We'll get into that later.
It's going. Balor and Joe in a cage. Final match. Okay. Balor and Joe in a cage. First time ever in Full Sail. I was thinking, can I fit a cage in Full Sail?
I don't know. That's a good question.
They're
gonna have to take out a few seats, I guess.
Probably. But I mean, we'll continue on from here. But it's basically, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, the forearm in midair. AJ gets hit with a spear because he can't kick out of one of Roman's spears, but he can deflect them and stop them a bunch of times. It's like the whole. Remember when someone would face they could never kick out of A, but they could stop it 6 different ways. Oh,
I know. Yeah.
Yeah, it was one of those situations, and then 1, 2, 3 off of 1 fucking spear.
Yeah, no, I was thinking. I said to Gord, well, if they let, Reigns got to kick out. It was very back. This match was very back and forth. AJ got the advantage at the end with the chairs. When they came to using moves, it was back and forth. If AJ kicked out of a move, Roman kicked out of it. If Roman kicked out, AJ kicked out. So I'm thinking, is AJ going to kick out of at least 1 spear? No. And it hurt.
Dude.
But I was almost laughing because I'm like, there's no way they just did that shit again. Because, all right. When it comes to in-ring-wise, yes, Roman is like Cena. Gimmick-wise, it's a bit different. People hated Cena for different reasons, not just his Superman tactics, but mainly out of recent years, how Cena's been getting booked, I'll say since 2010 about 2010. That's the Cena that Roman is, not the one that started in 05 to then, because they were kind of different. But anyway, that's a whole other story. But the Super Cena pretty much gets beat up in the match and then just hits the AA and wins somehow. That's how this one felt. And it was again, and I was laughing at it. I didn't know. I was pissed, but I was laughing because
dude, that's what I do to Cena matches now. I get mad at the Reigns finishes, but when Cena does it, I just laugh at it nowadays. That's what I'm conditioned to. He does it again.
I was like, you got to be kidding me!
He laughed. Matt was just hysterical. The perfect word to use was hysterical. That's what he really was in the situation.
Yeah.
And Roman won. And that's it, everybody. We'll see you next time. No, I'm kidding. I'd be so mad if we didn't even do that. But here's the thing. After this, I go in the kitchen to talk to my aunt about eating some chicken wings after I'm done with this review. because we still have chicken wings left from the other night when she ordered 2 pizzas and some chicken wings. And then Matt's like, bro, I run back to the TV. All I see Roman turn around, get kicked in the gut, and get pedigreed by Triple H. No, I'm only kidding. Seth Rollins, people. By Seth freaking Rollins. And here's the thing. One, this confirms that Rollins is still a heel because he attacked Roman for one, even though, we're kind of blurring the lines with AJ recently. Like, is he a face? Is he a heel? Is Roman a face? Is Roman a heel? Or is there a face or a heel in the situation? Between any of the guys in the club, well, the club, those guys, they're heels. They're definitely heels. But, like, Rollins is still using the pedigree, which I think is the most important note to take out of this. He hit the pedigree, and he didn't use anything else. So he's still embracing that Triple H is his role model. So I think that's the best way to really put it.
Yeah, I was happy he came out and, like you said, there, like half the crowd saying thank you, Seth. What was the other half saying?
No, one half of the crowd was like thank you, Rollins, and then the other half was welcome back.
Yeah.
They couldn't decide on what they wanted to chant. And I was just sitting here like, fucking Rollins! And then my I'll even give you the reaction I got from some people. My friend Derek was basically telling me, he's like, we obviously knew Roman was going to win, but great match. It still had me on the edge of my seat back and forth with the false finishes, everything. Like, it was a great match. And my other friend was like, I'm actually excited to watch Raw again. Rollins is back. Sent me a whole picture and everything. And then even guys on, like, I told you guys about how I felt about CM Pulse. CM Pulse even started tweeting, like, Rollins is back. He even put up a Twitter poll. Did you really enjoy the show? Like, he enjoyed it and everything. Like, everybody, I don't think anybody had much negative. I'm not going to say it was a perfect show, but because I don't think it really reached the standard of perfect, but I don't think you can really complain about it, like, too much at all.
Yeah. I like the show. Yeah, I thought it was just fine. Nothing wrong with the show, really, other than the Divas match to me. And a few little tiny things. But for the most part, I liked it. It was fun.
I agree with you there. But, Matt, you have any concluding thoughts on the show?
I'm actually excited. I'm probably going to watch Raw tomorrow. And I think that was helpful to the show. I was saying I'll do more videos. I don't know if I want to do videos on my channel anymore, but for as of here, maybe I think I'm going to go make one more video on my channel saying, if you want to watch me, go to Gordon Maston's channel, because that's the only place where I'll make videos pretty much. So, yeah, I'm planning to get back into it, and I think tonight was just good enough to get me back into it pretty much.
I watched you come up with the shittiest Raw ever tomorrow.
Oh, jeez. That sounds right.
They'll give Rollins an opening promo, have Reigns come out, beat him up, and then just move Rollins to the back of the line, and then they'll put Rollins back up there at SummerSlam and just do the most backwards ass shit ever.
Yeah, pretty much.
It was just, yeah. But no, hopefully they don't do that. But I don't want to say, just because of something like that, I'll review Raw tomorrow. But I'll say this much. If Raw is average, I'm giving it the benefit of the doubt, saying if it's average or good, I will review that show. In WWE, I can actually say you're finally out of trouble for now. Because, like, Matt, do you want to hear what they've been... like?
No, don't jinx it.
No, I'm saying they're finally out of trouble when it comes to being in smart cities with Roman. Do you want to know where they've been since before Mania?
Where?
This was a loop they went on before Mania. Detroit booed Roman. Nashville booed Roman. Then they went in 3 straight successive weeks. Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, Jersey. Then they had the Mania crowd. Then they had the night after Mania crowd. Then the LA crowd was even smarky. Then, they had a couple weeks off of that. And then went to Chicago for Payback. And then they were in Newark, New Jersey tonight for Extreme Rules. They've had it rough lately with those crowds. But yeah, that's what it's been doing. So I think for now they're finally out of trouble, and Money in the Bank is in Vegas this year. It's not in Boston like it usually would be. Although Extreme, for what it is worth, SummerSlam is in Brooklyn again this year. But yeah,
SummerSlam. All right.
any final thoughts though, Matt? I mean, because like that's all we had to say.
Yeah, fun show. If Raw can be like this almost tomorrow, just don't. The ending was almost bad because of Roman, but I think Rollins saved it because out of all that, what got me out of watching it, these dumb rumors that would come out of, oh, this guy's gonna come out tonight, this guy would come out tonight, and then it ended in the generic way. But Rollins coming out, I think, helped a lot. And yeah, I had fun watching the whole show, and it didn't feel like work pretty much. Like usually it's like, oh god, I got to get through this match, I got to get through that match, I got to get through that match to get through the show. For me, it was pretty good. So yeah, I'm gonna keep watching, I guess.
Like I said, man, if Raw is good tomorrow, I will put myself back into the torturous zone of reviewing it. As my aunt sits here and stares at me say that.
What?
I said, if Raw is good tomorrow, I will review it, and I will go back to reviewing it full time.
Maybe I'll join Gordon if he allows me to. Actually, I
Don't
don't know about
put yourself in
tomorrow's.
this position.
Maybe next Mondays. Maybe not tomorrow Monday, but the next. Because I have 3 days of school left, and for me, Raw for everybody else, Raw starts at 8 o'clock. I live Pacific time, but how I watch my cable is on my PlayStation. So Raw literally starts at 8 o'clock, which would be, 11 for you, Gordon?
Yeah.
So that's when Raw starts for me. But it'd be 8 o'clock for me. So then by the time I finish, it'd be 11 for Gordon. So it probably won't work out this week, but maybe next week.
All right, well, I think I'll be back tomorrow. I think. But you know what? I did enjoy this. I really hope you guys did too. And hopefully we can be back on a full-time schedule here pretty soon. At the moment, just because I've been doing it for so long and I feel like I need a little bit of a break, not because the content's been bad, but because like it feels like it's not even repetitive. It just feels like we've been like at the standstill spot with NXT. I think I'm gonna take the rest of this month and a little bit of next off until Takeover. What's the next Takeover? Revenge on June 8th, and we'll be back for that. And then I'll decide where I go from there with NXT. But at the moment, it's just tough doing 2 reviews in one night with Lucha Underground and NXT. Like it really is just tough. Like, 'cause I never sometimes I don't finish until 1, sometimes 2 in the morning, depending on when I get to do everything, and it's a little rough sometimes. So for now, we're just taking with Lucha on Wednesdays. NXT, I'm gonna drop it for just a little bit. And I mean, the content this week is maybe Raw, Lucha Underground, and I mean, maybe next month I'll see how consistent Matt wants to be with me here, and maybe we'll bring Matt Wrestle Talk. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I'll have to get into it, and then, yeah, hopefully we bring that back.
All right, well, Matt, any final thoughts?
Good show, and excited.
All right, guys, like I said, I felt the same way. Thank you guys for watching. This is probably where I screw up here. Remember to leave a like on this video if you already haven't liked it already. Subscribe if you're not subscribed for more of the wrestling goodness, WWE goodness on my channel. And me and Matt, well, for Matt Jarrett Show, I've been Gordon Maston, and as I said before, that was wrestling. And see you!